The sliding doors of a busy hospital suddenly burst open. Nurses froze as a huge German shepherd trotted inside, alone, carrying a tiny, unconscious girl across his back. Doctors shouted in disbelief. No parents. No explanation. Just a police canine with pleading eyes and a child who wasn't breathing well. In that heart-stopping moment, everyone wondered, where did this dog come from and how did he know to bring her here? The truth behind this rescue would shock the entire hospital and change many lives. Morning sunlight spilled across the quiet neighborhood as birds chirped and sprinklers hummed. Inside a small brick house, Lily, a curious 5-year-old with bouncing curls, finished her breakfast and begged her mom for a few minutes of play in the yard. Next door, Officer Daniel was running obedience drills with Max, his seasoned canine German shepherd. Commands echoed softly. Sit. Heel. Stay. Max responded with flawless precision, ears flicking toward every distant sound. Neither household suspected anything unusual. Lily giggled as she chased a butterfly near the garden fence. Her mother tidied up indoors, glancing occasionally through the kitchen window. Then, without warning, Lily wavered mid-step and sank to the grass, motionless. Max's head snapped up instantly. While humans remained unaware, the trained canine had already sensed that something was terribly, urgently wrong. Max bolted through the open gate before Daniel could call him back. His paws pounded the damp grass, eyes fixed on Lily's still form. Daniel's command, "Max, heel!" died in the air as the dog dropped beside the child and sniffed urgently. Her breathing was faint and uneven. Max let out a sharp, desperate bark, then nudged her gently, trying to rouse her. Instinct and years of search and rescue drills surged to the surface. He circled, positioning his strong shoulders beneath her small body. With surprising care, Max shifted until Lily lay balanced across his back, her arms dangling loosely but securely. Without hesitation, he sprang toward the street. Somehow he knew the direction to help, choosing the route toward the hospital just a few blocks away, running as though every heartbeat counted. Automatic doors slid open with a hiss as Max charged into the busy emergency room, carrying Lily like a precious bundle. Conversations froze mid-sentence. Patients, visitors, and staff turned, stunned by the sight of a lone German shepherd delivering an unconscious child. Nurses gasped. A man dropped his coffee. For a heartbeat, no one moved. Then chaos erupted. "Get a gurney now," a doctor shouted, springing forward. Max halted only long enough to let them see Lily's pale face, his protective stance firm. When a nurse reached out too quickly, Max released a low, warning growl. Not of aggression, but fierce urgency. A young physician knelt, speaking softly until Max eased aside, allowing them to lift Lily onto the waiting stretcher. Inside the trauma room, monitors flickered to life as doctors and nurses worked with lightning speed. One fitted an oxygen mask over Lily's face while another inserted an IV line. A third quickly checked her airway and heart rhythm. The diagnosis came fast. A severe allergic reaction was closing her throat. "We need epinephrine, stat," the lead doctor ordered. A nurse injected the life-saving shot, followed by antihistamines and oxygen support. Outside the glass doors, Max paced restlessly, his chest rising and falling with sharp breaths. Every beep of the monitors made his ears twitch. Minutes felt endless until the lead doctor finally looked up and nodded. "She's stabilizing." Relief rippled through the team. Max stopped pacing, sat squarely, and fixed his watchful eyes on the door, waiting for the girl he had saved. When Lily was finally moved to a recovery room, the questions began. Doctors, nurses, and hospital security replayed the surreal scene in disbelief. How had a dog brought a child to their emergency entrance so deliberately and alone? Security staff pulled footage from the hospital's cameras. The images stunned everyone. Max sprinting straight to the sliding doors, pausing just long enough for them to open, then heading directly for the triage desk as if he'd rehearsed it. Minutes later, Officer Daniel arrived breathless, alerted by frantic neighbors. Seeing Max beside Lily's bed, he blinked in shock. "I never trained him to do that," he admitted quietly. The attending physician shook her head in awe. However, he knew his timing saved her life. Without those precious minutes, the outcome could have been very different. By the next morning, news of the incredible rescue had already begun to spread. Hospital staff shared photos of Max sitting like a steadfast guardian outside Lily's room, his dark eyes following every nurse who entered. Reporters arrived soon after, eager to capture the story of the canine who had carried a child to safety. Neighbors stopped by with flowers and handwritten cards thanking Max for his bravery. Lily's parents, overcome with gratitude, knelt beside the German Shepherd and wrapped their arms around his thick neck. "You saved our daughter," her mother whispered through tears. Max leaned gently into the hug, calm and proud. Social media lit up with hashtags celebrating him as a hero, sparking conversations worldwide about the intelligence and empathy of service dogs and the life-changing partnership between humans and their canine companions. A week later, the hospital's courtyard filled with doctors, nurses, police officers, and neighbors for a special ceremony. Bright banners fluttered in the spring breeze, each one bearing Max's name. The mayor stepped to the microphone. "Today we honor a true hero who reminds us that bravery comes in all forms," she declared, presenting Max with a gleaming medal engraved, "For extraordinary bravery and life-saving service." Applause thundered through the courtyard. Lily, now fully recovered and beaming, carried a garland of fresh flowers. She giggled as she slipped it over Max's sturdy neck, then wrapped her small arms around him. Max responded with a gentle lick on her cheek, sending another wave of cheers through the crowd. Officer Daniel spoke last, his voice thick with emotion. Max didn't just save a life, he showed the depth of a bond words can't capture. The audience rose for a standing ovation. Life soon returned to a gentle rhythm, but Max's heroic act left a lasting mark. Inspired by his quick thinking, the hospital began exploring programs to include trained canines in emergency response. Lily's family shared their story at outreach events, raising awareness about allergies and the life-saving role of service animals. Max always sat calmly at Lily's feet, the picture of quiet pride. One evening, as the sun glowed gold, Officer Daniel rested a hand on Max's back. "You reminded us what courage looks like," he said. Max leaned closer, eyes half closed, content. "Sometimes the greatest heroes don't wear uniforms or speak words. They arrive on four paws, carrying hope and saving lives without hesitation."